Hey there, my fellow YouTubians. I just can't say no to moomonkeymatters. She always comes up with good ideas for movies. She wanted to know what movies would be scariest to watch on Halloween and which movies would be not scariest to watch on Halloween. Well, there's a lot of horror movies that I could recommend as being pretty frightening. But for Halloween, I'd have to say I'd recommend choosing a movie that's not only scary but also fun. Not necessarily grim or downbeat, but fun. Uh, and I also wanted to come up with, of course, three movies that you shouldn't see. But these are primarily scary movies that are horror movies that are just bad, just wrong-headed in general. And there's plenty of those out there. But three in particular: the Halloween remake. In 2007, Rob Zombie directed a remake of Halloween, which is just a bad idea to begin with. It's a really badly made movie, but Halloween is a work of art. So I would say, don't see that one. I would also not recommend seeing Hollow Man, which came out in 2000 and stars Kevin Bacon as a scientist who invents a formula to turn himself invisible. He then turns into a complete psychopath and stalks everybody at the lab. Kind of a dumb movie. It's written by the same guy who wrote Air Force One, which is also very dumb. And I'm also not a very big fan of Hostel. Hostel is a modern classic among horror fans, but I don't like it very much. It's sloppily written. For example, the main character, as he's trying to escape from people, he steals a car, and then he's driving along trying to get away, and he sees three people who were responsible for getting him into so much trouble in the first place, and they're literally standing in the middle of the road having a discussion. All he has to do is hit the gas and run them all down. They're standing right there. That's very, very, very sloppy writing. Not to mention the fact that this whole premise is sort of I guess it's sort of geared towards the idea that revenge is a good thing, which I don't really agree with, you know? I mean, the guy, he gets revenge on the three people set him up. He gets revenge on the guy who set the whole hostel or the whole torture chamber for money thing in the first place. And yeah, I just think that's a totally wrong-headed idea. You know, obviously he feels bad about losing, you know, people that he, you know, his friends, to the torture device and everything like that, or the torturers. But yeah, I don't like that movie at all. On the other hand, though, there are three movies that I really do like that are great. Number one on that list is Evil Dead 2, which is a really fun movie. Sam Raimi directed this movie. It's he did Drag Me to Hell. He did the Spider-Man movies. This is one of the first movies that he made. It came out in '87, and Bruce Campbell is the main character. You don't need to see Evil Dead 1 in order to understand what happens in Evil Dead 2. It's more like a bigger remake of Evil Dead 1, which is very, very, very low budget. And this one is too, but the gags are a lot more fun. It's just crazy. It's just a crazy movie. All kinds of fun stuff happens in this movie. Big shocks, really, really bloody effects, just outrageous gags, and it's just a good time. Really, really good time. Then I'd also, of course, have to recommend Scream. The original Scream, which is a terrific movie. I like all the Scream movies, actually. I think pound for pound, it's a better trilogy than the Lord of the Rings movies. You know, I like all three of these movies. But Scream, of course, the original most of all. It's got good scares in it. It's lots of fun. It's really funny. A lot of good actors in it. You just can't go wrong with it. It's terrific. And I'm actually really looking forward to seeing Scream 4 because, you know, the previous three I've enjoyed so much. A lot of people don't like the third one or the second one. They all have their good points. And finally, I'd like to recommend, of course, the original Halloween, which is, you know, just a defining slasher film. It is like the first of its kind, really. I mean, there were horror movies before Halloween, obviously. Psycho, of course, by Hitchcock. But this is the one that set the template. And really, the first time I saw this movie, I'd seen a few horror movies already. And this was an old movie from like 1978, but I could see just what the appeal was. This is a really tense movie. It has good acting in it. It's just perfect. It's a perfect movie, and definitely worth checking out. So those are the ones that I'd recommend for Halloween. Fun, scary Halloween viewing. I'm supposed to turn this off now, right?